Say hello to the new Razer Fold. Yes, it is finally here, or finally will be here, because you can pre-order it on May the 14th. It'll be available on the 21st, and it's an exciting phone. We don't get a new folding phone very often, so it's nice to see Motorola join the ranks of Samsung and also Google and some other guys in this department. This is a really neat phone, and it fixes one big problem that we have now with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold, which is the S Pen, because you can get the Motorola pen with this one, the Moto Pen, and use it as a stylus with the phone. It has its own little carrying case and all that stuff. Unfortunately, it's not included with the phone. It's $100 extra, but the price tag on the Razer Fold is a little bit nicer than the Z Fold because it's $18.99, and then you get kind of that choice if you want to use the Moto Pen or not. Some people like having a stylus. Some people don't care if they have a stylus. So there's some impressive stuff here. Taking a look at the phone, it's got a 6,000 milliamp battery, which is huge. It's powered by the Snapdragon 8 Generation 5. You got 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage, and it's got an HDR10 Plus screen, 8.1 inches, ultra thin glass, LTPO, all that great stuff. And the external display, 6.6 inches with a first that we've seen in a phone so far. It's also in the Razer Ultra, is the Gorilla Glass Ceramic 3, which is super nice. And I've really enjoyed using Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2 on some Samsung phones and some other ones, and it's been incredibly impressive. So having this on the Razer Fold is super nice. And if that wasn't enough, the screen itself is incredibly bright. So you get 6,000 nits brightness on the front and 6,200 nits brightness on the inside screen. So you're going to be able to see this whether you're out in the California sun or if you're somewhere else whenever you're outside. And of course, that's one of those things where auto brightness has to be on. It'll kick in, and that's peak brightness. But it is something that is a nicety in a phone like this. So like I said, tons of storage, 512 gigabytes of storage space. There's no expandable SD card slot, but 512 I feel like is the sweet spot. It's especially for this price of phone. When you take a look at $18.99 and starting with 512, that's much more favorable than, let's say, the Z Fold 7 that starts, one, more expensive, and two, starts at $256. And you get 16 gigabytes of RAM by default with this phone, which is nice. Now, I wish it had long-term support. As far as I know, it's 4 years of support. They didn't go into that specifically, but I believe it's the same as like the Razer Ultra, 3 years of operating system updates, 4 years of security patches. If I'm wrong, I will correct that because it wasn't brought up in our briefing today or the material that I have. So hopefully I'm giving you the right information on that. But I really like this phone a lot. It feels good in the hand. The screen is beautiful, and it is a little heavier. It's a little over, I think, 230 grams, 243 grams of weight, but it feels very balanced. And when you have it in your hand and you're holding it and you're using it, it just feels like a premium built device. I wasn't holding it and going like, wow, this phone feels really heavy. It actually feels pretty nice. One thing I wish, so there's two colors, and I got to read this because I can't ever remember them, but it's Pantone certified, Pantone color. It's got Pantone black and blue, and it has this nice little textured grip on the back that gives you some extra grip when you're holding the phone that I like. It feels nice in the hand, plus that texturing is nice, because the other one, which is the Pantone Lily White, of course, it looks gorgeous, a little bit slicker on the back side of the phone. So it's one of those trade-offs where, like, I don't want to say that I don't want it to be in white because I'd like the textured back like the other one, but at the same time, it does really stand out and it looks really pretty. And it's nice having the two different color options in this phone. Now, I want to talk about the cameras for a minute. I wasn't able to take any samples with it for this video, and my review unit will be here very shortly thereafter. So whenever I have my full review, I will cover the photos. And if y'all sign off in the comment section, if you want me to post some photos as I'm testing it out, because I've done that sometimes recently, where I'll post them and make like a YouTube community post. I'll put some photo samples in there. But the cameras themselves, so go ahead and take a look at this. It is got a 50 megapixel primary sensor, and hopefully I'm pronouncing this. It's a Sony sensor, Sony main sensor, Lytia, Lytia, and it's got a lot of nice stuff going for it, including Dolby Vision recording, which is cool. And you've got a 50 megapixel ultra wide. You've got a 50 megapixel periscope telephoto with 3 times optical zoom and 100 times super zoom, also Sony sensor. And then on the inside, so on the outside, you get a 32 megapixel selfie, but the inside is a 20 megapixel. But you're going to be covered pretty much any way you want with these. You can record 8K video and, of course, 4K, 60 and 30 with a primary camera. But the cameras on this, they really seem like they put a lot of emphasis, and they talked about them very, very favorably. Of course, I mean, they're going to, it's their phone. But I do think that these cameras are probably something nice, especially because I really enjoy Motorola's cameras. And I like the ones in the RAZR Ultra, especially last year, because it's got that 50-50-50, where you've got, like with this one, with 250s on the outside and the one on the inside, but this one's got 350s on the outside. So I'm interested in testing it out and seeing how good the video is, because they look like they mean business. And I think it really accents the design of the phone well. The design language is nice. It's got like a little bit of a rise up around the camera bump. But otherwise, like, it's a very, very seamless and flawless design on the back. Very smooth, easy to hold. Of course, it has a fingerprint scanner, facial recognition, all of those things that you would appreciate in a phone. Android 16 out of the box, which is a nicety as well. And I really hope that we can get faster software updates, and that's really been the biggest drawback most folks have when it comes to Razer phones and Motorola phones in general, because I've got my RAZR Ultra last year, came with Android 15, 4 years of support, 3 years of operating system updates, and we just got Android 16 like not too long ago. So it's one of those things where it takes a little bit of time for them to get those out, but I do think the software in it's fine. There's some AI suite stuff that's in there, and there are some nice new updates in that department as well. But yeah, the 120 hertz refresh rate, that's super nice. And actually, you get 165 hertz on the external display, which is cool. So 165 on the outside, 120 on the inside. There's a lot of stuff to like here. I think it comes in at a favorable price point. I think that makes it competitive whenever you take a look at, let's say, the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold, and you take a look at the Z Fold 7. We know we've got the upcoming Z Fold 8, Z Fold 8 Wide, all that stuff coming out in the next couple of months. So just the fact that they're kind of kicking this off now, and like I said, you'll be able to get it. I think pre-orders, like I said, start on the 14th of May. You can get one on the 21st. And it's kind of setting the tone for this summer already when it comes to foldable phones, because then we'll have the Z Fold phones coming out probably around July, if that sticks to the timeline like last year. And then we'll have presumably the Pixel 11 Pro Fold probably around August. So this is another great option that's out there, where really, like, Motorola does a lot of good things whenever it comes to kind of pushing the envelope whenever it comes to specs. And of course, it's got IP48, IP49 water and dust protection, which it doesn't have like that full IP68 like we have with the Pixel, but you also have IP49, that 9 on the back end. So the 8 means you can drop it into water up to 1.5 meters for half an hour. So it's protected water resistance that way, but then it's also protected against temperaturized and pressurized water as well. So you get a lot of nice things there when it comes to protection. The display is something that looks really, really nice, and it's great because we've been waiting for this to come out. I made a video about it because I did get some brief hands-on time back at CES and was able to cover it there. So now, having basically an hour and a half to spend with the phone, I got some time to look at it, play around with it, shoot lots of footage so that I could make this video for you guys. And even like in the stereo department, I mean, it's nice. It's got stereo speakers, Dolby Atmos. It's got tuning sound by Bose. You've got 80-watt charging, 50-watt wireless charging, 5-watt reverse wireless charging, and then that 6,000 milliamp battery is huge. Like, this thing is going to run for a long time. It's not like you take a look at Samsung with 4,400. You take a look at Google with about 5,000. This is a 6,000 milliamp battery with silicon carbon technology. So they really kind of are the first ones to bring that with the foldable phones here in the US. And that's going to make for some special battery life. And then it's got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5. It's not the 8 Elite Gen 5, but I think it's a good choice when it comes to processor because it's very powerful. It's more powerful than the Snapdragon 8 Elite last year, better in AI, better at gaming, better in thermals, better in consistent gaming performance. But you don't think I have as much of the heat problems that they've been having with some other manufacturers whenever it comes to 8 Elite Gen 5. And still we're talking like, I think it's like 4.6 gigahertz. I mean, it's super, super fast. I mean, well over 4 gigahertz. Better than Snapdragon Elite, a little bit less than the Snapdragon Elite Generation 5, but it still has that Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 technology. It's got everything that you're going to possibly want. Like, you're not going to notice a hiccup. It's going to get you great performance, great speed, great for gaming, and then you've got these beautiful, bright, immersive displays powered by that chipset, but also the 16 gig of RAM, which is big, and then on top of that, that huge 6,000 milliamp battery. So I can't wait to get my hands on my review unit. Mine will be here hopefully very soon. and then I'll be able to make some more like kind of hands-on stuff, show off the cameras, which I really wanted to be able to do today, which I couldn't, unfortunately. But everything else really seems pretty nice about this phone, especially, like I said, super fast charging as well. So you're going to be covered every which way from Sunday, from battery, performance, charging, cameras, screens. They waited a little bit longer than some of the other guys, but they've come out swinging in the foldable phone department. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, all that stuff, please, of course, go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.